Hey guys, I'm just going to take you quickly through how to use the y-axis position map in Substance Painter and just quickly importing and baking from high to low poly. So if you create a new project, you can set your document size here, load in your low poly. This stuff is all for specific workflows, depending on what you're using. So we'll just load that in, set it at 2K for the low one, and that's done and in for us. To bake the high poly stuff down onto it, go down to the texture set settings subpalette, click bake textures. Same deal here with document size. You can pick 2K, 4K, 8K. I usually go 2K here, depending on what you need. Grab the high poly one and load that in high definition meshes with this button here. You can go through here to turn on or configure parameters of your specific maps. Um, so that's all pretty simple, and this is the common parameters between everything. And once you're ready to do everything and it's set, just click Bake Default Matte Textures, and it will go through that and start baking them. It will take a little while depending on what your document size is and how heavy and dense your meshes are. But it's pretty quick, and you can see here we've got all that detail from the high poly now in the low poly in the normal map, which if you tap C, you can go through each channel, or right click and display next channel. And if we go to the base normal map, we can see that that's what it's given us from the bake there. So that's how you get the high poly detail onto the low poly, and just tap M to see the material again as a whole. To use a position map as a mask here, obviously you paint your layer however you want. I'll just add a quick fill layer for an example, and just make that red. You can add a mask, add a white mask, right click on the mask and add generator. So to get to that mask generator, nothing selected. The one that you'll want is MG Mask Editor, and this gives you the ability to control all the parameters of this mask based on the baked out maps, like your curvature, your ambient occlusion, although that's not really giving us anything on this, probably because it's a decimated model, and your position gradient, which is the one you want. That will give you a gradient from 0 to 1 from bottom to top. To control that a little more, you can use the global contrast here, which will sort of split it in the middle there, and set where the gradient is that way. You can also use the balance here to do that. It gives you a bit more control. So let's say you sort of want that top half, you can set your contrast there and that, and then all of a sudden you've got that, which is great. Cool. Alrighty, one other thing that can be handy. Sorry, pause that to double check that I knew what I was doing. So obviously this looks quite clean. Let's say you want to add a bit of grunge to it to give it something a little more natural. What you can do then is add a fill to the mask. So right click on that, add fill layer. You want to right click on that and move it down so it's below the mask, and then you can set this to multiply, and that will sort of multiply this color here. To put a grunge map onto that, you can go down to your shelf, grunges, and then pick one, drag it on there. And now we have a grunge texture on there that's being multiplied by that mask we created, so that we not only have that, which can be done, triplanar projection, whatever, you've got all that control there. But you can also then go into here and still have the ability to, where is it? Here. To change all of that without too much trouble and still have a grunge map there. So hopefully that's helpful. And yeah,